2010. My mom's infection-ridden body was laying in the big white bed in the big sterile white room, sitting next to her, holding her fragile hand. Her life on this earth is slipping away. I'm shaking with tears flowing down my face. I whisper in my mother's ear, "Mom, it's time for you to go be with Dad." She took her last breath. How will I live without my best friend? She's my mom, my confidant. We share everything. I know she instilled the strength in me to go on, but how is the question? How do I go on? With a shaky hand, I open the window so her soul can soar. She's now living in my heart and soul. 2015. I start having these disturbing dreams about my mom. She's always angry with me, either yelling at me or barely speaking to me, asking where I've been and why I hadn't been by to see her. I would try to talk to her, and she would act as if I hardly knew her. It was so weird. Something happened in 2020 that perhaps explained it all. First, let me take you back to 2017 for a second. I did 23andMe to check out my genetics for my health journey. It was interesting to see my genetic matches. A lot of matches on my mom's side. Cousins showed up. No deep, dark, awesome secret story. 2 years later, I receive a message from Carla asking how we could be related. I messaged back, probably from my mom's side, and supplied her with all the last names from that family. She asked me if the name Heartski rang a bell. Nope, I replied, never heard of it. And quite honestly, I forgot about it. One day I look at my phone, and I have a Facebook friend request notification from Carla. Wow, she went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, I noticed. We chatted back and forth and realized we had so much in common. The same smile, the same love of family, and the same short stature. A friendship blossomed. We decided it was time to figure out the family mystery. And since these Heartskis were all on Ancestry.com, in August of 2020, I spit in yet another tube and sent it away. 2020. I was invited to be a guest on The Rich Solution, a radio show about empowered health on iHeartRadio as a holistic health coach on September 28th, 2020, to talk about my favorite subject, inflammation. No, really, it's truly my favorite subject. I was scheduled to call in at 10:55 a.m. and at 10:53 a.m., my results from Ancestry came in. I flipped open the cover of my iPad to quickly take a look. With my husband, Chris, standing by my side, I saw Alan 2673, parent, child. I looked at Chris. I said, wait, Alana, my daughter, isn't on Ancestry, is she? I mean, my older daughter, Samantha, has always called her Alana because, well, she's the older sibling, and she can. He said, no, Stef, she's not. Wait a minute, clutched my heart and said, you don't think I have another child I don't know about, do you? And Chris just said, no, Steffi, you don't. I then looked at him and I whispered, Alan 2673 is my biological father? Almost as if I didn't say it out loud, it couldn't possibly be true. I ran into the office to call into the radio show, and I proceeded to talk about inflammation for the next hour without skipping a beat. Soon as the show was over, the events of an hour ago came flooding back in. How could Bob Foster not be my dad? I mean, we were so close. He stood on the steps of Day Hall at Syracuse University freshman year and cried until my mom said, Bob, get in the car. I had 2 crying fits. Once, he was in a car accident later that afternoon, and the other time, he had a stroke. Come on, we are totally connected. This is just a mix-up or a cruel joke. Wait, am I on candid camera? Chris came back home to make sure I was okay. When I gave him the nod, he laughed and said, "Oh my God, this makes total sense. You're nothing like your siblings." I then called my best friend of 50 plus years. She was speechless. I mean, she's never speechless. She then said, "Well, at least you don't have the gene for Parkinson's. I don't really know what else to say." That's very true. Thanks. Love you. Then I hung up. How can I figure this out? When I looked up who Alan 2673 was, figured out he was a Jewish doctor in Hartford, Connecticut, near where I grew up. Could be worse, right? I mean, he's a Jewish doctor. September 28th, Yom Kippur, the holiest day on the Jewish calendar, the Day of Atonement. Did I find out today because my mom was atoning for her sins? Did she have an affair? Or was she raped? I frantically called anyone and everyone I could think of, and they all gave me the same answer. I have no idea what you're talking about. So I called my mom's best friend, Shar, in Florida. She said, "Dolly, you know your mom and I shared all of our secrets, but apparently she didn't want anyone to know this." I went to bed and I laid there all night trying to figure this out. I'm 54 now. My dad's been gone for 15 years and my mom 10. How could they not tell me? We were so close. Tuesday morning, I thought of one more family member to call. Called my first cousin. Didn't really think he would have a clue, but I called him anyway. When he answered the phone, I went straight for it. "Hey, do you know anything about a foster family secret?" I said. He responded, "What do you mean? Bob Foster's not my biological father?" Without skipping a beat, he says, "Bob Foster is none of your biological fathers. You were all conceived through artificial insemination. Did none of you question that none of you look like him?" What? Wait, what did you just say? None of our biological fathers? Not computing. Holy crap. Why was this never shared with us? My mind was blown. Thank you.